Hi all and welcome back to the final part of this show. That was a new song I played there. The legendary Ronnie James Dio. He wrote, or co-wrote with Richie Blackmore of Rainbow and Deep Purple, some really esoteric stuff, which is perpetrated through a lot of the heavy rock music, which is why it got denigrated. Devil worship and all this stuff. A line from that song, when the world was milk and honey and the magic was strong and true, then the strange ones came and the people knew, yet the chains were on. This is kind of what this show is all about, and From Russia with Love and many of the other Humanity Unplugged, and we've covered it all in the Must Listen To shows. And in this present time period, we're fighting the end battle of the light and dark. And we are winning. We are winning. This is sent to me, which leads into the final piece, which is a review of last Saturday's show. One of the members bought half a Bitcoin for $100 a while ago, and it was the only way to pay. They made 2 transfers, no problem, but the multi-layer identification required a cell phone. The cell phone became damaged, so they got a new phone and a new number, and could not update the cell number. So they then contacted customer service and was told no way to access that account again without that person sitting in front of a webcam while they uploaded photocopies of their driver's license. Again, this proves what we've been saying. This is data collection on a massive scale. Now, the person refused and told them there had to be another way, and they were told, no, there's not. And they're locked out of the account still. But can you imagine the system going ahead? You know how their systems break down, either deliberately or because of some fun and games with the quantum system or some other reason. Can you imagine thousands or millions of people getting locked out of their account, like many have been locked out of Facebook or Twitter or other programs? Google have gone down, Yahoo's gone down. Can you imagine what the panic that would create? At that point, there's no backup system. The backup system now is to have cash or gold or silver. And then these thousands or millions of people trying to reach customer service. Oh my, good luck with that. Which customer service, which as we know today exists of a retarded automated message box. Chaos. Well, I'm going to end tonight's show with a summary of the Clowns in Panic show. And the warning I kept giving about bitcoins and cryptos is there now for all to see. You have no excuses for going along with that program anymore. None. But those with more discernment should have heeded the warning that was given last November when the IMF instructed 134 countries into going with crypto and replacing all the currencies. These were the currencies, remember, that they said they were going to revaluate in their so-called RV program. Why is it still running if they're going crypto? And so much for those in the alt media who cried, but the cryptos are going to get around the cabal system. Oh, they're going to get around the system, okay. But it's a system that is now our system, not theirs. That's the kicker. The reality is cryptos is another dinars, zims and dongs stunt, which the same people fell for. Hand over valid currency, albeit fiat, and we'll give you fake in return. And so keeping their dwindling pot of money going to facilitate their illusion that they still have control. They don't. This is being ran out of the city of London by the Crown. The Israelite Ra cult, Freemasons and Templars attached to the church. And for those new, Israelite is nothing to do with Israel, the country, or Jews. Those people have been duped into an Egyptian cult. Period. Crypto is ran and created by the CIA and NSA. As a near future show will show the deeper levels of that, and it involves data mining, cloning and harvesting on a massive scale, and it's an Orwell world on steroids. It is being pushed by clowns and agents of the CIA. The open source aspect of it is Robert David Steele. To date, this man has not contacted us to arrange a show. Personally, we don't expect him to, due to the fear of his and their narrative being torn to shreds. But we live in hope, and the door is always open. And then we read out the Facebook manifesto or white paper. White paper is indicative. White paper is what you wipe your arse with. Fitting in this case. Quite frankly, it was a beyond absurd article, riddled with contradictions, several lines of narrative repeated several times to fill the document out, which is suggestive it was thrown out in haste. In fact, we know it was. And was in response to actions taken recently that essentially cut them out of the game altogether. Oops. Connect the dots of the recent intel. An article that stated itself for those who can read and understand, not read and skip its content, which sadly far too many do, and this is why they get away with so much. It stated it cannot be done safely at this point, but we are working on it, and maybe in 5 years' time it can be done. Can you imagine walking into a bank to open an account tomorrow and the manager says, well, we'll take your money, but we cannot guarantee its safety. But no worries, maybe we will be able to do that in 5 years' time. It's absolutely absurd. But that is what they told you in the paper. They also stated they have got no funding for it, and was a polite way of saying we the people will be funding our own demise again. How nice of them. They then stated about this will improve the financial system, when Kim and the team have already done that to the current system, which they don't like, as now they don't control it. Again, a confirmation of what we've been saying. They stated they would like to be using bank deposits, which is our money, and securities, which is bonds, which are IOUs or debt notes. Well, no change there then, is it? A so-called brand new system that duplicates the previous failed model. How futuristic and progressive is that type of thinking? We know they are planning on using the birth certificate scam all over again. Again, not very original, are they? They also stated they are not basing it on assets, which means it's not backed or supported, which means it is a quantitative easing again, which means printing shit out like monopoly money, leading to inflation, which leads to extra tax. For those that don't know, inflation is a tax. All the main players that are in on it, the New York crew, the Crown, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, bankers, CIA, NSA, GCHQ and other agency-led groups, the Israelite cult, houses, Freemasons and the original Crusade type Templars, etc. The question is why? The reason why is supportive of what this show and Kim has been saying. They are doomed. And it's a full-on admittance that we've brought down their whole banking and currency systems. Also in their document that appeared to be written by a pre-high school child, they talk of decentralisation. This should scare the shit out of a whole heap of elites, never mind the people. Yes, you can convince yourselves that you're all so important to the games and a player in their plans, but those plans failed. And actions by them against you will be severe and swift. By all means, sit back and wait for your demise. It will come. But at least we can say we told you and subsequently warned you. Out will go governments as we know it. Out will go central banks. Out will go several high street banks, and it will be swallowed in several big mergers soon. Watch and see. Out will go funding for the US military. They have served their purpose and the world is catching on to the role that they have been playing. Your replacement is already funded, and further funding will be looted out of countries via the fake Paris Climate Agreement. That group is NATO, which is atom-based. Back to Egypt again. And what's NATO's sole aim? Defeat Russia and Iran. I wonder why. Listen to From Russia with Love 1 and 2. It's all there. So the self-appointed top-end clowns are now culling their herd, as Shane warned of back in 2015. This will be decided upon by the leading elites, and you will be sacrificed. After all, sacrifice is the name of their game, all the way back to Solomon, and in fact much further. Millionaires need not apply. You will be harvested and cut out. This is a billionaire's game now. Again, don't believe me? Just wait and see. Libra is a desperate attempt by desperate people who have lost the game and the plot. Big groups of so-called leaders and their organisations will get culled if this goes ahead, because the clowns can no longer support it. Again, proving what we have said. The show was a fairly rollercoaster show that exhibited deep concerns for our future. Should this go ahead, we believe we will stop it. But that responsibility to do so lies with each and every one of you. You have a deep obligation to safeguard not only your future, but your children and grandchildren's future. Let us not be the generation who allowed tyrannical clowns, who are deeply wounded, I might add, to throw us all into a nightmare world of epic proportions based purely on technology, not much of which has any real value to us as a species anyway. But the positive aspect shows and proves how far we have come in such a short period of time. Their financial energy harvesting machine ground to a halt in under 5 years. Their own document admitted that in great detail. Almost every paragraph confirmed it. But the biggest triumph is we have forced them to play their hand out in public. For years those plans remained hidden, the hidden hand of the dark magician. The Houdini-style mask ripped off and unveiled for all to see, at least to those who use their eyes to observe. That show, in essence, is another line in the sand moment in time. When the hidden was revealed in its full dark glory, the genie is out of the bottle. For years we never realised there was a bottle, never mind the genie inside, waiting to pounce on its unsuspecting and oblivious hosts. Now they have revealed their hand, and it's up to us to play our cards right, and we have to trump them, pardon the pun. We have to, not just him, we. Time is now to play our aces, and we will carry on in the background, playing them strategically. We have the time, they don't. We know it, and now they know we know it. And we can sit back and watch it all unfold, whilst making strategic hammer blows that facilitates their end. I'll be back on Circle of White Light with Randy and Alan on Sunday at somewhere around 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and also later on in the evening with Michael Jacquin for an evening with Thomas. This has been the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. My name's Thomas Williams. Bye for now.